Good morning, students. How are you all? Today we are going to talk about CODA file system, uh, or we can also say a case study, CODA case study. Okay, so CODA is a distributed file system. It makes files available to a collection of client computers as a part of their directory tree, but ultimately maintains the authoritative copy of the file data on servers. Okay, CODA has some features that make it stand out, that it supports disconnected operations, okay, full access to a cached section of the file space during voluntary or involuntary network or server outage. CODA will automatically reintegrate the changes made on disconnected clients when reconnecting. Okay, so furthermore, CODA has read write failover server application, meaning that data is stored and fetched from any of a group of servers, and CODA will continue to operate when only a subset of all servers is available. Okay, so if we talk about CODA file protection, CODA file protection. Okay, CODA provides a close approximation to Unix protection semantics and access control list. Access control list, I mean ACL. ACL stands for access control list. Controls access to directories by granting and restricting the rights of users or group of users. So an entry is an access list maps a member of the protection domain into a set of rights. User rights are determined by the rights of all the groups that he or she is either a direct or indirect member. In addition to the CODA access list, the three honors bits of the file mode are used to indicate readability, writability, executability. So we should use chmod1 to set the permission on individual files. So CODA rights are given as a combination. First, read allows the user to read any file in the directory. Second, insert allows the user to create new file or subdirectories in the directory. Third, delete allows the user to remove files or subdirectories. Write allows the users to overwrite existing files in the directory. Lock, the lock right is absolute and only maintained for historical reasons. Lookup, look up. Okay, lookup allows the user to obtain status information about the files in the directory. Okay, an example is to list the directory contents. Okay, and next is administrator. Okay, it allows the user to change the directory's access control list. Okay, so we have to focus on read, insert, delete, write, log, lookup, and administrator. Okay, now if we talk about getting clued in with the CODA terminology, we have to focus first CODA cell. A CODA cell. Cell is a group of servers sharing one set of configuration database. A cell can consist of a single server or up to hundreds of servers. B point is that CODA volumes. CODA volumes. File servers group the files in volumes. A volume is typically much smaller than a partition and much larger than a directory. So volumes have a root and contain a directory tree with files. Each volume is CODA mounted. Okay. C point volume mount points. volume mount points. One volume is special, it is the root volume, the volume which CODA mounts on CODA. Other volumes are grafted into the CODA tree using CFS MK mount. What? CFS MK mount. Okay. Next, data storage. D point, data storage. The servers, actually CODA needs much more metadata to support server replication and disconnected operation, and it has complex recovery which is hard to do within a local disk file system. Okay, next thing is that RVM. RVM stands for recoverable virtual memory. What? Recoverable virtual memory. So RVM is a transaction based library to make part of virtual address space of process persistent on disk and commit changes to the memory automatically to persistent storage. Next, client data. Okay, data on the client is stored somewhat similarly. Metadata in RVM and cached files are stored by number. Okay, next, validation. When CODA detects that a server is reachable again, it will validate cached data before using it to make sure the cached data is the latest version of the file. Next, authentication. 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 CODA manages authentication and authorization through a token. Similarly to using a window share, CODA requires users to log in. Okay. Next, protection. To grant permission, the cache manager and servers use the token with its associated identity and match it against privilege granted to the identity in access control list. Okay, ACL, access control list. Okay, so if we talk about single namespace in CODA, next we can discuss a single namespace. A single name space. See, a single namespace, all of CODA appears under a single directory CODA on the client. CODA does not have different exports or shares as do NFS. Okay, so so under CODA, the volumes of files exported by all the servers, okay, that are visible. CODA automatically finds servers, and all a client needs to know is the name of one bootstrap server that gives it information how to find the root volume of CODA, right? So actually in examination, a question may come that write a short note on CODA file system, or what do you mean by CODA file system. Okay, so we have to tell first about the what is CODA file protection. Okay, we have to tell about CODA cell. Okay, and we have to tell about a single namespace. Okay, if we talk about server organization, okay, the main program is the CODA file server. It is responsible for doing all file operations as well as volume location service. Okay, so the CODA authentication server handles requests from CLOG for tokens and changes of password from AU and CP password. Okay, so in this way we can define CODA file system. Okay, I hope you must have got knowledge. Thank you very much.